the resource person of this webinar, Dr. Reddy Shekhar Reddy sir, Associate Professor, presently working in Christ University, Bangalore. He is the founder member and Vice President of LTI Tirupati chapter. He has many feathers in his cap and organized many seminars and conferences. Sir, I request you to take over the session.
Thank you, Monica, for that nice introduction. Now, I request Vatsalya to welcome the participants to the session.
Good morning to the galaxy of academicians. This is Vatsalya. On behalf of SIPPT chapter, I take the privilege to welcome you, the learned scholar, for today's session on how to get set ready for successful webinars. As most of you know that LTI Tirupati chapter always tries to do something for the betterment of teachers in general and English language teachers in particular. In that part, it is a professional initiative taken by the chapter during this hard time to organize a webinar as a pre-orientation for a smooth transition from face-to-face to online teaching, which is the need of the hour. Great, sir. I request you to take over the.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aryan. And thank you, Mrs. Monica, for the nice introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Is the PPT visible?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Right. First of all, I thank the God Almighty for keeping all of us safe, staying at home. It is during this hard time. I welcome each and every participant to this webinar today. I acknowledge the presence of Professor K. Langu, the Secretary, LTI, who witnessed in the webinar in the morning session also. And I thank the office bearers of LTI Tirupati chapter and LTI. And I welcome each and every participant. Most of the participants are familiar with us as personal what is called intimacy, and most of you are familiar with LTI Tirupati chapter. And my dear friends, I welcome wholeheartedly to all of you to this webinar on Get Set Ready for Successful Webinars. I hope that the selection of the title for today's webinar lecture, Get Set Ready for Successful Webinars, is meaningful. I hope that it makes sense at this particular juncture where we are supposed to align ourselves towards the virtual teaching and learning mode. To start with the presentation, basically webinar, a ringing word nowadays everywhere. What actually a webinar is? So just, I think almost all of you are familiar with the definition of a webinar, but just for the sake of introduce it, I just put the definition over here. A webinar is an event held on internet, which is attended exclusively by online audience, just like as we are attending this session. This distinguishes itself from webcast, which also include the presence of a physical audience. The other terms used alternatives for webinar are web event, online seminar, webcast, web lecture, virtual event, and so on and on. Of course, we are familiar what a webinar is, right? So, webinar is not a new concept, is not a new invention. It is there since a few decades. And some of we have been attending webinars globally, but it is not much popular as today. But COVID-19 lockdown, which gave a momentum, a big push towards this webinar. That is what I mentioned. Though webinar is not a new concept, present situation of COVID lockdown gave a momentum to it. Because due to this lockdown, face-to-face teaching and learning has been stopped. But teaching and learning process cannot be stopped. So during this lockdown, only option which is available is that webinar. So that is why at present time, webinar got a great momentum. It has become very popular. Everybody is associated with this is a ringing sound everywhere, webinar, webinar, webinar. That is why we took up this particular topic for our discussion today. Most of the elder members are familiar with every month COVID-19. Of course, in today's webinar, there are many people who are the members of LTI, and I'm familiar with some of them who are also members of IITFL, International Association of Teachers of English as a Foreign Language, which is London-based international organization. This IITFL, on every Saturday evening, it has been organizing webinars. For the past few years, I have been attending those webinars, and some of our colleagues are also attending. What I'm saying here is that webinar is not a new concept, it is there globally. But at present moment, it has become very popular. Every student and teacher is supposed to what is called align themselves to these webinars. But to make webinar successful, there are certain modalities to be followed. Some sort of awareness is required. Otherwise, the webinar will become meaningless. For the past 2 months, most of the teachers, we are involved in attending the webinars. While attending these webinars, we observed some of the drawbacks that affect the effectiveness of the webinar, both for presenter as well as the participants. Actually, the intention of a webinar is to disseminate knowledge and skills that help develop themselves as effective members or students. Where we need determined effective participation and presentation. But due to lack of some awareness, some of the behavioral attitudes spoil the decorum of these webinars. So that is why we thought of having a discussion on this particular topic to throw light on the awareness that is required to make ourselves best presenters or best participants in a webinar. And before going into the depth of this presentation, I would like to mention a few points that this afternoon during this presentation, I'm not going to talk about something extraordinary. I'm just talking some of the ordinary things in an humble manner. Sometimes they may sound silly, they may sound simple. Even though they are simple things, they have great impact on the effectiveness of the webinar. So that is why we thought of it is essential at this particular time to mold ourselves as the best participants and presenters. I'm not just theoretically talking something. After this presentation, I will be showing some pictures associated with webinars. Some of the drawbacks happening during the presentations. so that what I talk over here in the presentation and what you will see in the pictures, they will be synchronized so that you can understand it better. Why I'm mentioning all these things, though they are very simple, why I'm stressing on that? Because these simple things makes the presentation either effective or ineffective. Okay, let us start this one by one webinar. See, as we are attending or presenting webinars, we are using different sorts of platforms, apps, software like that. So what are the available softwares which we use for webinars are like this. The Google Meet, which is the platform right now we are using. We are all meeting through these Google Meet. Generally, it allows up to 250 participants at a time for a meeting or a conference or a webinar. But actually, as we got about 400 plus registrations for this webinar, we could not make it as a single session. So we made it two sessions, one completed in the morning and now another one is going on this. So here we can use, this is one of the platforms. It is from Google products, Google Meet. And another one is Zoom. I think most of we are familiar with the Zoom app also, because Zoom app is one of the extensively used platforms for these webinars at present. In spite of some apprehensions regarding the privacy breaches while we are using this Zoom app, many are using and many are forced to use this Zoom app. Of course, most of you are familiar with, there is a case in front of the Supreme Court asking to ban this Zoom app from using in India, because there is a possibility of privacy issues with this app. But in spite of that, many of we are using it in the teaching and learning mode at present. And Skype is another app which is also a Google product. Previously, we are familiar with Skype interviews. Only in some premier institutes, organizations, they use this app Skype for conducting interviews online. And the WebEx, it is another platform. Actually, in our university, the management is using this particular software. And we have some institutionally supported softwares, Moodle, something like that. And many other, even Microsoft, what is called Teams, and different kinds of softwares are available today in the market. Whatever it is, we have to select one particular platform with which we are familiar, which we are comfortable, and it is good for our online teaching and learning. But if you look at this picture, teaching online, we can find different kinds of behavioral attitudes used.
Excuse me, sir.
Sir,
We
excuse
cannot
me,
see the
sir.
PPT.
Yes.
Mr. Syed Mahmood Basha, could you please stop presenting your screen? Mr. Syed Mahmood Basha, we couldn't able to see the screen of the sir.
Right. Yeah, the participants kindly cooperate. Actually, these are the issues we are supposed to discuss. Now,
Mr. Syed Mahmood
each and
Basha,
every-
sir, we couldn't
each
able
and
to see
every-
the screen.
Yeah, just a minute. Muhammad Basha, Syed Muhammad Basha, please stop sharing. I think you click the option sharing. You are not supposed to share anything now. I am sharing the PPT. So you just stop sharing. And all of you are supposed to mute your audios and videos. No need of them. And cooperate for the smooth, what is called presentation. Is it okay now?
No, sir. Still, he's presenting his screen.
Muhammad Pasha, is it Muhammad Pasha?
Yeah, Syed Mahmood Basha.
Yeah,
Mahmood Basha.
Mr. Syed Mahbub Pasha. On your screen, I think you might have clicked by mistake present now. And there is some tab is showing that stop presenting in your
Sir, it is
screen.
now fine.
Yeah, sir. Now we are
Stop
able to
presenting.
see. Yeah, he stopped presenting, sir. You can.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
We're
Right.
not able to see this, sir. The presentation. Could you please?
Mine?
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute. I will share it once again.
We're seeing you, but not the presentation.
Okay, just a minute. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, okay. That might be by some mistake that was happened. Okay. This is what actually we are discussing all these things. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right. It's it.
Could you
So if you look at this
please,
picture, we can
repeat for
find a different.
the past this one,
Pardon?
sir?
Pardon? Tell me.
Just
Your voice is getting break. I don't get it. Okay, just it is the second slide only, no problem. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Visibility also, PPT.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, then, right. So if you look at this, the teaching online picture, we can find different behavioral attitudes. See, one is with the family, another one is looking at the screen and doing something else, and one is something, and one is sleeping, like that. So these are some of the behavioral attitudes that we can come across during these presentations, and we are going to discuss about those things, right? Okay. Let us check with these webinars whether it is boon or bane. See whether it is positive or negative before going to discuss all those things. We just have to check with whether it is a boon to the present situation or it is a bane, like that. Definitely, as a coin has two sides, these webinars are also have both the points, positives and negatives. But first, we just discuss about webinar is a boon. How? Why we call it as a boon? The first point is that yes, it is a boon in the present situation. As we know that for the past 2-3 months, teaching and learning, face-to-face teaching and learning has been shut. But we can't shut teaching and learning process continuously. So that is why now the only option, only the ray of hope for continuing this online teaching and learning is webinar. So that is why definitely we take it as a boon in the present situation. And secondly, technology aided novel concept and encouraging. No doubt, today's students are techno savvy, technologically advanced, what is called children. They are very much interested with the technology. So instead of face-to-face teaching and learning, technologically aided webinars may be a novel concept, something new, and it will encourage the students for effective teaching and learning. So definitely webinar is a boon. And the next thing is that global village to the world of virtual village. In the past few years, I think in the past few decades, people were talking about with the advancement of communication, world has become a global village. But now, from global village to the world of virtual village, today the world is not a global village, it is turned into virtual village, because globally we are connecting through virtual mode of maintenance. So it is a boon definitely from global village to the virtual village. The next point is that webinars have made it possible to listen to the professional experts from across the globe. So previously, if you want to listen to an expert from some corner in the globe, it was very difficult. We are supposed to attend international conferences where only we have the option to listen to the experts. But today, due to the use of these webinars, it's very easy. It's comfortably sitting at our own home. We are able to listen to the experts from different corners of the world. So that is just possible with the webinar. So why can't we call it as a boon? Definitely. Without much effort, without much expense, it made possible to listen to the experts globally. So definitely it is a boon. Webinar is cost effective. See, as it needs internet and gadgets such as desktop, laptop, tablet, mobile, which are easily accessible at present. See, webinar has become very cost effective. See, because it needs just internet connectivity and one of the gadgets mentioned here. And moreover, each and every one nowadays is equipped with one of these gadgets along with internet connectivity. So no need to spend any extra rupee. Without any extra expense, we are able to enjoy this online teaching and learning. That is why we call it as cost effective. For example, previously when we want to attend a conference, first we have to register, we have to pay the registration fee, and we have to book the tickets, we have to travel with a lot of physical difficulty, and we have to spend the amount over there. We have like this. All these are involving with a lot of expenses, risk, and all these things. Now, without all these things, simply we can attend these webinars. So definitely, webinar is a good. Yeah, just as I mentioned earlier, it is easy to organize, host, and attend. To organize an event is not a simple task. Those among you who try to organize an event, a conference, a workshop, something like that might have faced a lot of difficulties. On behalf of LTI Tirupati chapter, we organized 6 events. We know what are the pains and difficulties associated with the organization of events. But to host or organize a webinar, comparatively very comfortable and easy. But of course, it has its own difficulties, issues, and the struggle and all these things. But comparatively, organizing a physical conference or a seminar, it is very easy to organize or host and to attend. As I told you earlier, if we want to attend an event, a conference, a seminar somewhere else, we have a lot of process involving money, what is called energy, time, and all. But here, it is very easy to attend a webinar. We get a link and we just register, we just log in, we just listen. That's it. So sitting at our own home without any extra effort, we can easily access to this dissemination of knowledge. So ultimately, it is a boon. It is economical, comfortable, and risk-free. As I mentioned earlier, economical, we need not to spend, much money over that. And comfortable, we need not to travel, we need not to do all these things, and risk-free. While we travel, while we go and visit other places, so there is a lot of risk. But today, without any risk, without any discomfort, without any economical issues, we can participate in the webinar, we can learn the things. So when we look at all these points, definitely we are supposed to accept that it is a boon, right? But as I mentioned, as a coin has 2 sides, it has some of the challenges. Instead of problems, we can mention them as challenges. So that is why is webinar a boon or bane? So we are talking about the bane. It is also a bane. Why? Why we have to think that it is a bane? It is a discomfort. It is a problem. Why? The first is threat to privacy. First issue arises with these webinars is privacy breaches, because it is self-exposition to the public. Once we enter into a webinar, if we switch on our camera, it is not just we are looking into our own laptop. We are just showing our face to the total world. Anyone from anywhere can access what you are showing through your camera. So there is a lot of what is called privacy issues. So that is why we are talking about these simple issues that have to be taken care. Otherwise, we may self-expose to the privacy issues. In that case, definitely it is a win. In the face-to-face teaching and learning, we don't have such kind of any issues, but here it is. And the second thing is technological failures and glitches. See, sometimes I think all of we have faced just while we are trying to join a webinar, when we are logging in, we might have faced some sort of technical problems, connectivity issues, sound problems, video problems, this and that. Then, lack of human touch, a journey from real to the virtual world. Definitely. In a face-to-face classroom, we have a human touch with the students, with the participants. Face-to-face, we are being there. But here, it is a journey from real world to the virtual world. So here, for example, right now, hundreds of people are presenting to this webinar, but I am not at all looking at anyone. I am just looking into my laptop screen and I am talking. In the same manner, you are logging in, you are listening to my lecture, but there is no human touch, face-to-face interaction. Of course, virtual interaction. So in that sense, it may be a discomfort. We are losing the human touch. It is just a journey from reality to the virtual world. And another pragmatic issue is that flood of webinars at a time, difficult to select. Pragmatically speaking, each and every one of we have been facing this issue. Innumerable invitations of webinars. We have a lot of invitations. We may register each and every one. Sometimes we might not remember how many webinars we might have registered and when they are going to be organized. So, a flood of webinars, a huge number of webinars available, and sometimes it makes us difficult to select which one to be attended, which one to be avoided. And further, as there are innumerable webinars are available, some are not effective, some time killing. Of course, many organizers, many presenters may try their level best to put their best to present. But in spite of that, sometimes all the webinars may not be productive. Sometimes some of the webinars may be just for the namesake, for the record purposes, but some are just time killing. Until we attend a webinar, we don't know whether it is fruitful or what is called waste of time. So that is another issue. And the possibility of negligence, of course, when it is online, there is negligence because there is no face-to-face interaction, face-to-face presentation, and something like that. So those who are not that much of serious may be showing their negligence. But of course, those who are determined, who are sincere, may be alert, attentive, committed. It may not be an issue in there. And stress creating, because stress creating, it's not just a simple two-term phrase. It is stress related to physical, psychological, sociological stress like that. Even before this momentum, there were many articles, researchers proved that what is called children and youngsters are affected with eyesight, brain problems, and all these things because of continuously looking into the mobile or a laptop or a tablet screen continuously. At that time, it was just 60 to 70% of usage for entertainment or social media or whatever it might be. But today, each and everyone has to spend maximum time in front of the screen. So it creates so many what is called issues, like it creates psychological stress. Maybe psychologically people get disturbed. When we look continuously into the screen of a laptop or a mobile or something like that, it is directly affecting the eyesight. And it is going to even, while we have continuous sessions throughout the day, sitting continuously in front of a computer, it is also what is called leads to some of the physical health issues. So These are some of what is called demerits associated with this webinar. But of course, with the simple, what is called determination, with simple awareness, we can overcome these sort of things and make this bane as a boon. Okay. Either it is a bane or boon, it is the need of the hour. Of course, there are positives, there are negatives associated with webinars. We can call it as a boon, we can call it as a bane, but whatever it might be, but there is no other go because it has become our need of the hour. As there is no face-to-face teaching and learning, we have to continue the process. The only option is webinar, so it has become the need of the hour. In this particular juncture, what we are supposed to do, how to align ourselves, treat challenges as opportunities. They are just challenges, not problems. How to identify the difference between problem and a challenge. For each and every simple issue, we are not supposed to mention as a problem. Problem is a very huge, big one. These are the simple issues, maybe called as challenges, which can be addressed, which can be overcome. So, treat challenges as opportunities. So, when we feel that it is a problem, it is a very burden. When you take it as an opportunity, it will be very easy. It is a very comfort. So, however, now one cannot resist himself or herself from webinars. That is the fact. In that reality, we have to take that as an opportunity, but not as a problem or an issue or a challenge. How to overcome that challenge and make it as an opportunity. So it is an opportunity to learn the new things. So in this particular context, see, I have divided these two kinds of the main aspects to make the webinars successful. See, do's and don'ts like that. Actually, what I'm going to talk in these two slides under the heading of do's and don'ts, they are not entirely new. They are not entirely abnormal. They are just normal things. But even they look just like as very simple things. But these simple things contribute for a greater, what is called change. Simple things shows great effect. Being a presenter or being a participant, you have a great change while we follow these do's and don'ts. The first one is professional physical setup. See, while we are participating in a webinar, we have to take care that the setup should be professionalized one. That is the first thing. And the second, the professional or at least casual appearance. Of course, being the teachers, you are all aware of all these things basically, but why I am stressing here is that for the past 2 months, while we are participating in the webinars, we observe so many what is called violations, either knowingly or unknowingly, but they give a bad, what is called an ugly picture to the presentation, to the webinar. So that is why it is at least minimum care we have to take. It is not simply theoretical. I am saying, as I mentioned, I will show some of the photographs why I am stressing, because these are the things literally happening. But remember, my request is that I'm not here to insult anyone, to what is called point out anyone, to something like that. My intention is not that to insult someone else, but it is only to wanted to give some awareness that how can we overcome the drawbacks which we are doing unintentionally, knowingly or unknowingly. Either it is knowingly or unknowingly. If we do something in front of the camera, it is open to the public. That is what I'm saying. No one is trying to breach your privacy. We ourselves are damaging, self-damaging regarding this privacy. So that is why these are the things which are required. Next thing is ensure pleasing visibility with proper lighting. So pleasing visibility, when we are switching on the camera, definitely that visibility should be pleasing one. It should not be frightening, it should not be fearful, it should not be awkward, it should not be unpleasant. So it has to be a pleasing visibility with proper lighting. Lighting in the sense, when you are facing a camera, the lighting should be opposite to your face. Then it gives a clear visibility. Instead of opposite to you, if the lighting is either of your sides or at your back, that may not provide clear visibility. I will show two photographs showing that when the lighting is from the sides or from the behind, it is not giving a good visibility. For example, if you look at me right now in this screen, you can find it is with a clear visibility because I have light opposite to me. I don't have any light behind myself. If there is light behind, that affects the visibility. Of course, these are the simple things, sometimes unknowingly or without concentrating, we do that. Next thing is set up pre-check gadgets and networks in advance. So in the last minute when we try to join the webinar, it creates some kind of technological lapses, or power lapses, or connectivity issues, or this and that. So at that time, it creates some kind of issues. So need not to give that scope. So what we are supposed to do is we have to set up the gadgets. We have to check the gadgets and networks a few minutes before in advance, and sit in a right posture and then pre-check the microphone and the video options. See, we have to sit in a right posture in front of the camera, and we have to pre-check the microphone and video options. I think in the beginning also you might have observed some of the issues with the connectivity, voice, video, this and that. Of course, we might have done it earlier, but in spite of that, it happens. That means it is there because each and every one of we are new to this usage of technology, these apps and all these things. So these hiccups are there a little bit in the beginning. So that is why we have to take some extra time and pre-check, pre-installation, check-up and all these things. And log in at least a few minutes prior to the scheduled time of webinar. So on-time login always problematic. Sometimes the organizers may give some instructions. If you join late, you could not follow them. And if we miss the introduction, we cannot understand the concept. And so that is why it is recommended to join at least 10 minutes before, 5 to 10 minutes before the session, better to log in into the platform. And make sure you turn off your microphone, video tabs, and use the chat box to ask questions. See, it is actually another issue, but all of you are familiar, we knew, but that is what, knowingly or unknowingly, sometimes it happens. We forget to mute our audio. So that creates disturbance to the total platform. It is not a 50 or 60 people in the class. It is hundreds of people in the meeting. So one background noise can disturb the entire group, right? And video tabs also. So video tab is not required to switch on, because if all the people are using video tab on, it creates even connectivity issues sometimes. So because we don't have a sophisticated high-end connectivity in our country, there are issues with the connectivity and all these things. So that is why we have to minimize the usage so that it can facilitate for smooth run of the webinar. If there are any questions necessary to be asked, we use the chat box. Someone is monitor the chat box and it can be taken care of. And if there are any questions at the end, definitely the presenter may ask at the time. We can ask the questions and get clarification. Prefer spotlight mode for full screen view of the presenter or presentation. There are actually 3 modes: spotlight mode, tiled view, and sidebar in the Google app itself. When we are using these tiled mode or sidebar, it can distract the participants, because in the tiled mode, we can find the multiple faces are visible, the participant faces are visible. In the sidebar, at least some of the faces are visible. So ultimately, it gets distracted. Sidebar, tiled modes are distractive and more distractive respectively. So here is an example for a sidebar. Here you can find the presentation in a big picture. In the side, you have the presenter and some of the participants. And this is called tiled mode. In the tiled mode, we can find almost 16 to 20 pictures, 20 what is called the videos of the participants. If the videos are not put off, whatever it is visible in their video may be showing them. Ultimately, that distracts the what is called participants. So that is why avoid these two modes. Better opt for spotlight mode where you can see the complete presentation of the presenter. That is what important. And then tools. So we come across what are the things to be done and what are the things to be avoided. Please avoid unmuting your microphone and talking during the presentation. Most of the time, it is the major issue. Either knowingly or unknowingly, people what is called unmute their mics and they may speak something or otherwise some background sound may be disturbed. Even we are also facing that problem, but one or two people are monitoring that and immediately putting those what is called microphones on mute. Otherwise, it will be a big disturbance. So instead of that, we have to self what is called the control. We have to mute ourselves and not disturbing in between the presentation. Showing showcases, curtains, ceilings, cots, beds, sofa sets in the home. It sounds something silly, but it is the pragmatic issue. I will show some pictures at the end where you can find examples of all these things. It is not showcasing the showcases in our home, the medals we got, curtains in our home, ceilings, cots, beds, costly sofa sets. So it is about the presentation. If you want to show your comment face, you have to give a good posture, a good visibility, and you can switch on. Otherwise, better to switch off. Sometimes only some what is called ceilings can be seen. Sometimes only beds can be seen. Sometimes only curtains can be seen. No person is visible over. It is not preferable. Sitting in shorts, nighties, bunions, and so on. It is also seems something silly, but it is the pragmatic issue. Some people nowadays, as it is a fashion to wear shorts, but while you are coming to the online platform because it is visible to the total world, I think it may not be a sensible decision to be in shorts and switching on the camera to exhibit it. Even the 90s, of course, everyone has the what is called the liberty to be comfortable, but at the same time, we have to safeguard some of the decorum of the professional meeting and the bunions and so on. Sometimes a person with a bunion and without a bunion, like that. Literally, we saw all these things on the screen. That is why I'm mentioning. I'm not to insult anyone or anything like that. Laying on the bed, better to avoid bedroom for webinars. Some people may be laying on the bed in the bedroom and using the mobile phone and looking at it. And beside, some other thing is happening over there. See, actually, it is not a good idea to attend a webinar from a bedroom. Better to sit in a sitting room or a hall somewhere else where it is good. Better to avoid bedrooms. And here, to give a presentation, the teacher has to work day and night to give a good presentation online. But being a student or a participant, it is just comfortable laying down on the bed in a bedroom and cross the legs, and you can watch it your comfort zone. But while you are using such kind of postures, places, at least put off your camera. And eating breakfast and snacks, drinking water, sipping tea or coffee, of course. It sounds a little bit odd. How can we avoid water, drinking water? See, I'm not asking, it is not my, what is called intention that you avoid drinking water, but avoid drinking water in front of the switched on camera. See, while your camera is on, if you are eating a biscuit, if you are taking snacks, drinking water, sipping coffee, tea, it is not a good sign. It is not a good gesture. So if you want to do something, you just put off the camera. That is what only solution. Maybe in all these situations we will be there, but only thing is simply put off your camera. That ends the matter. Partial visibility of faces, showing faces in unpleasant way. See, sometimes the partial face is visible. See, if you want to show your video, make sure that your visibility is perfect. Otherwise, switch off the camera. Showing partial, see one eye, forehead, sometimes the top of the head, forehead, one eye, this and that, and some unpleasant way of faces. I will show some faces so you can understand what I am saying here. And showing other people and works happening at home, of course. Some people, I appreciate them literally, those who are very much determined and interested to listen to the lectures, but they have some other important works to be attended at home. At the time, they wanted to do that work and simultaneously they wanted to listen. I appreciate them, but only thing is, don't forget to switch off your camera. Otherwise, whatever the work is going on, household work going on in our home will be visible to the public, and whoever the people there at home, it will be visible. In one of the presentations, one presenter was mentioning that better to, close the room where you are attending a webinar, because sometimes in the home we have children, we have life partners, so they may come all of a sudden without knowing all these things that you have switched on the camera. So that creates some sort of unpleasant moment. So that is why better switch off. And hairdressing and facial massages. It is also seems to be silly when I mention like this, but there are photographs where some people, participants are playing continuously with the hair, and some people are putting the fingers, hands here and there on the face and doing some sort of unpleasant activities. That is why I mentioned. So when camera is on, we are supposed to avoid these things. If you put your camera off, you are at your what is called freedom, whatever, however comfortable you can be. Bending onto the camera, some people without knowing, without proper awareness, they may just bend onto the camera, and they may hold the mobile phone in different modes. So that shows unpleasant appearances of the face or the body or something. Yawning with mouth wide open, of course, it is spontaneous. We can't stop them, but at the same time, can control them. At least switching off the camera or diverting our face from the camera, or controlling like that. It is not a good idea to wide open when we am into the camera. And taking selfies. I surprised to see that in one of the presentations at the end, the participant wanted to take a selfie, capturing the screen and all these things. Of course, we can't abstract that, because people are crazy about selfies, but that's not a good idea, right? And right. So these are some of the things which are supposed to be do or supposed to be avoided. Even though all these things seems to be very simple, but they have great impact. Knowingly or unknowingly, if we do them, they affect the effectiveness of the presentation. Now, I will show some of the pictures, so that they may sync with what we are discussing over here. And you can understand better what I talked and what the pictures show, why it is what is called important.